Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says, Suno ye Rasika Jan. He is asking all those people, those who are Rasik. His teachings are not for useless fellows, one who is of no use, one who don't understand what Krishna is, what love is, what God is. He is giving.
Just one second, Maharaj, we need to organize the translation.
Yes, please.
Tak kdo na anglicku je, tak si prosím sedněte tam za Punjou a kdo anglicku je, tak si sedněte od Puny. Díky.
Those who don't want translation, they come close to my heart. Those who want, they can go away. What he is doing, so I can just speak. Okay, good. So he says, he is addressing to the Rasika Bhakta. He is addressing to the people, those who are aspiring to follow the Rasik Bhakta. Very important. If we follow someone who is useless, we never get that love of God. We never be able to experience that pure love. One who has that taste, one who has that taste for the mellow, for that rasa, when we follow them, then there is a possibility of becoming rasika. It is said, Shri Krishna rasa bhavita mati kriyate va kutopi labhyate ye. If you ever find the mind of a person who is Krishna Bhakta, one whose mind is fully immersed in Krishna Bhakti, Sri Krishna rasa bhavita mati kriyate va kutopi labhyate. By some chance, first of all, it is not easy to get darshan of a devotee. Durlabham manusham janmam dehinam kshanapam. This human form of life is very rare and also momentary. How long it will remain, we never know. But there is a chance that where we get this human form of life, but tatrapi durlabham manye vaikunta priya darshana. Very rare is to have darshan of the devotee of the Lord. It's not so easy. And among the devotees, Vaikunta Priyadarshana, one who is dear to the Lord, one who is dear to the Lord, it can be the Bhakta who is in Aishwarya mood, who is in Dasya mood, Shant mood, Vatsalya, Sakhya, Madhurya also. Everyone is dear to the Lord. It can be Kanishta. Kanishta is also very dear to the Lord. We think Uttam, Uttam, but actually Kanishta, to be Kanishta is also not an ordinary thing. He is also very dear to the Lord. Madhyam is very dear to the Lord. Uttam is, of course, he is very, very, very dear to the Lord. So when it says Sri Krishna rasa bhavita mati, means that particular devotee whose mind is fully immersed, like Rasgulla. You know Rasgulla? Rasgulla is fully immersed in that sugar syrup. So any direction, any corner, whatever you try to taste, it is very sweet. The mind of the pure devotee, the mind of the devotee which is fully immersed in the devotion of Sri Krishna. kriyateva kutopi labhyate. And if you ever find, immediately take it. Don't delay. How I take it? Tatra laulyam api mulyam ekalam. There is only one price. That is laulyam. Means greed, lobh. We should have that greed to grab that, take that. Janma koti sukritir na labhyate. Even after spending the sukriti of in 1 crores of lifetimes also we will not get this benefit. That's what he is said. And they are the Rasika Bhaktas. The one whose mind is fully immersed in Rupa Madhuri, whose mind is fully immersed in Leela Madhuri, Venu Madhuri, everything. He is Rasika Bhakta. And those who are aspiring to be Rasikas, they have to go there. They have to go there. Even there we get nothing. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he is addressing to the people, Rasika Jan. Rasik Jan means one who belongs to such Rasika Bhaktas. It is addressed to the Bhakt who is already Rasik, and also addressing to the people one who possess Rasika Bhaktas. Vrajajan means one who belongs to Vraj. Rasikajan means one who belongs to that Rasika Bhakta, one who belongs to that pure devotee, and also the one who is Rasika, both. So Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur, what he says? Krishna Gun Aganam. The qualities of Sri Krishna, you can't count them. Aganam, infinite. All his qualities are infinite qualities. You think we can glorify, we can say, not possible. Forget about us. Ananta kahite nahi pare. Ananta Dev. He says kahite. Even Ananta Dev, to glorify the glories of the Lord, nahi pare. He is glorifying, 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 and there is no end. Glorification of the Lord, His infinite qualities has no end. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says, how can we even imagine that we can glorify the Lord? So listen carefully. What he says? Krishna Jagatera Guru. Krishna is the original Guru of this whole world. He is the original Guru. He is the Guru of this entire world. Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. Krishna is the first Guru. He is the original Guru. That is the reason only by the mercy of Krishna we get Guru. We don't get Guru by our own desire. We get Guru by the will of Krishna, by the desire of Krishna. When we desire to meet with Krishna, then Krishna sends his beloved devotees who help us teach the process by which we can get Krishna. So first Guru is Krishna. Krishna Vancha Kalpataru. So who is Krishna? He is Vancha Kalpataru. He is desiratory. He is desiratory. He is there to fulfill all our desires. Whatever is our desire, He will fulfill it. So I want to enjoy this world. He will fulfill the desire. He will definitely fulfill that desire also. But when He fulfills that desire, He also makes sure that you will not have the desire to enjoy. You get everything, but you will say, I don't want anything now. That is Krishna. Hmm? Not that he will just give you and he will say, okay, you die. No. He gives. But at the same time, he makes sure that you will not have the desire to enjoy. Vancha kalpatar. Who is Krishna? Desiratory. And when he is addressing the Rasikas, those who want to be Rasika Bhaktas, what he says, your desire to meet with Krishna, your desire to serve him, your desire to get his loving devotional service, your desire to relish the particular mellow, everything is fulfilled. Because he is Vancha Kalptar, he can fulfill all the desires and he will fulfill all the desires. Whatever you desire, he will fulfill it. There is no limit that he will do this, he will not do this. There is no such barrier, there is no such limit, nothing. He will fulfill all the desires, whatever you have, because he is Vancha Kalptaru. Who? Krishna. Navika se bhava paravare. Who is he? He is the boatman. Krishna is boatman, he is a cowherd boy. He says, no boatman. Why he is boatman? Navika se bhava paravare. One who has fallen in this material world. This material world is like a vast ocean. So whoever has fallen in this material world and experiencing misery, struggling in this life, Krishna, he is the boatman. What he does, he put them in the boat and then he will take them on the other side. When a person in an extreme level of devotion, a person when he is experiencing acute pangs of separation from Krishna, there also Krishna acts like a boatman. What he does, he will rescue us from those waters of separation, of that misery, that pain. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said, Srimati Radhika is saying to Krishna, Viraha samudra jale kama timingili gile molnath gopi ganer kara paritran. Hey Krishna, all these gopis, they are suffering in acute pangs of separation from you. And so much of pain in their heart, that this pain, what kind of pain? The desire with you, to unite with you, is so deep that it's like the tiny fish, which is so big that it can swallow the biggest whale also in the sea. It will swallow us. Kara Paritram, please rescue us. Please save these gopis. So he is like a boatman. He won't let you sink in the ocean of Viraha. He will just pull you out. And those who are suffering in this material world, worldly afflictions, miseries, unable to harmonize, unable to unite, unable to stay together, unable to love each other, unable to experience any kind of joy in this world. Only suffering, suffering, suffering. If such person is praying to the Lord, oh Lord, what he does, Navikasya bhava paravare. He is like a boatman, he is in the waters And he'll just take you like this, come, 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 and then finish. Lord says very clearly, Mamaiva ye prapadyante. Whoever surrenders to me, Maya metam tarantite. Who will rescue? I will rescue. From what? From this illusion. What is illusion? This world is illusion. And what Lord does? He will rescue them. That is the speciality. Why? He is like that. Hriday piditayar, Krishna chikitsakatar. Hriday piditayar, whose heart is suffering. Whose heart is suffering? Krishna chikitsakatar. Krishna is the doctor for all those people who has heart problem. Amazing cardiologist. Cardiologist? Yes. For the heart. Amazing. What is the problem in the heart? Anyone can say. What is the biggest problem of the heart? What is the disease of the heart? Kama, lust. Lust is the biggest disease. Because of lust, all other things they follow. Starts from the lust. So the real disease of heart is lust, which is very dangerous. Hridaya piditayar, one whose heart is suffering with lust. Krishna chikitsagatar, Krishna is the doctor. When there is lust, lust for sound, lust for touch, lust for smell, lust for taste, lust for the form, we have lust for all these things. As a result, anger is coming. As a result, greed is coming. As a result, attachment is coming. As a result, pride is coming. As a result, ego and envy are also coming. It starts from lust, which is the biggest disease of heart. If lust is not there, then there is no disease. Heart is pure, sacred. That is the reason it is very clearly said, Atmendriya pritivancha tare bole kam. If you have the desire to enjoy, if you have the desire to gratify your own senses, that means it is lust. Krishnendriya pritivancha dhare prema nam. When you have the desire to serve Krishna, that means that is prem, that is love. That is not calm. Even though both appears to be the same when we see them. But lust is ignorance. And prem is like blazing sun. What is prem? Prem, Nirmal Bhaskar. Bhaskar means sun. Nirmal Bhaskar means it is like midday, shining sun. And calm, Andatam. It is like a blind night. Even though both appears to be the same when we see in action, but the result, when we are in lust, that will throw us in the well. Ignorance, in darkness. When there is love, it will take us to knowledge, it will take us to bliss. Huge difference is there. So, Hriday Piditayar, one whose heart is suffering. It suffers when there is desire to enjoy. Immediately misery is coming. Immediately misery is coming. Our desire to enjoy anything is the root cause of suffering. So we should not have any desires. We should give up all the desires. But it is not possible. How we do it? Huh? So Rupa Goswami, he says, Anyabhilashita sunyam. Give up all other desires. What desires? Which are developing some ulterior motives in your heart. Just give them away. What I should do? Anukulyena Krishnanusilanam. You have to serve Nandanandan Sri Krishna under the shelter of Srimati Radhika. Anukulyena Krishnanusilanam. Anukulyena means Srimati Radhika, who is the most favorable potency to serve Nandanandan Sri Krishna. Anukulyena Krishnanusilanam. Krishnanusilanam means to serve Krishna by all means. When we do that, all other desires, they are vanished, they disappear. They will not remain in the heart anymore after that. That is the speciality. If not, one lust is so dangerous. It can throw us to the deep well of self-destruction. Our life is finished. Our career is finished. Our character is finished. Our standards are finished. Everything is finished. Only because of lust. Vishwamitra, he somehow tried to compress his desire. He did not engage them in the service of the Lord. He only tried to compress them. When he is doing them, what happens? He tried by performing tapasya, austerities. 60,000 years he has performed severe austerities. But what happened? He could not give them up. He could not engage them in the very positive direction, in the loving service of the Lord. So he tried to compress them. You are trying to compress them. It is there inside. How long you will compress? When Indra tried to disturb the austerities of Vishwamitra by sending Menaka. Menaka is the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful apsaras of heaven. Most beautiful is Urvashi. You know Urvashi? You heard the name? Who is Urvashi? Anyone knows her? She is the daughter of Narayan. Urvashi is the daughter of Narayan. She is not an ordinary apsara. When Nar and Narayan, they are performing tapasya in Badrikashram, Badrinath, Indra is always having the fear of losing his position. What is the use of becoming Indra? I don't understand. You always have fear. But whoever is doing some tapasya, Indra is scared. So Indra, he sends Rambha, Menaka, Trilottama, everyone to disturb the tapasya of Narayan. Then Narayan, he sees that a foolish person. Then he immediately gives birth to Urvashi from his lap. Urvashi appears from the lap of Narayan Rishi. She is born from Narayan. And then when Indra, he sees her, he will become like crazy. What is this? So then Narayan said, take her to heaven. So Urvashi, she is very special. So anyhow, what happens? Indra sends Menaka to Vishwamitra. He could not control his lust and he falls down twice. He fell down twice. Because lust is very dangerous. In awakened state it is dangerous. In subtle state also it is dangerous. In subconscious state also it is very dangerous. We have, because we can, unless we engage lust in the service of the Lord, we are not safe. Heart is always suffering at one point. Sometimes we can feel it in consciously, we can feel it, yes, I'm suffering. Sometimes in subtle state we can feel it. Sometimes we don't even realize that we are suffering, but we are suffering. People ask you, Prabhu, what happened? What happened? Because deep in the heart he is suffering because of lust. He is suffering. That lust is forcing the person, is engaging the person, all in the direction where he is experiencing that misery. It is very dangerous. Saubhari, he also tried to control his lust, and then sitting in the waters of Jamuna and performing austerities. When he saw Garud, he comes there and then catch fish. Immediately Saubhari, he gets angry and he curses Garud that if you ever come again, you will die. When you curse Garud, you don't know who Garuda is. How can you even think of giving curse to Garud? No curse can attack Garuda. You know this? Even the very powerful weapon Brahmastra also can't do anything to Garud. One time Brahmastra was released on Garud by someone, I don't remember the name. And then Brahmastra comes to the Garud, folding the hands and saying, please, what to do, tell me. If you reject me, I will lose my glory. People will see that Brahmastra is useless. So what to do, please tell me. Then Garud, he raises his wings and says, come. Then Brahmastra could cut only 2 hair. And then did pranams and left. Brahmastra is not potent to attack Garuda. What Saubhari can do? An ordinary rishi Saubhari, what he can do? But he become angry. Why he become angry? Because of the lust which is in his heart. Sangat sanjayate kama, kama krodho abhijayate. When there is lust, krodha abhijayate. Through lust, krodh is coming, anger is coming. So when there is anger, that means there is lust. Without lust, anger can never come. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada says sometimes we see devotees, they get angry. That means they have lust. No. It's like mother is trying to rectify the mistakes made by the child. In the same way, even though mother, she is never angry with her children, but it is her affection and love that she is exhibiting such a kind of act for the benefit of the child. In the same way, devotees also, they never have become angry, but because we make some stupid things to rectify our mistakes, to change us, to make us realize that we are wrong, they perform such act. But if someone has anger, that means there is lust in the heart. And when there is lust, there is pain, there is misery. Saubhari becomes angry. 10,000 years he was in the water, his body starts to melt. When you stay in the water in a swimming pool for 2 hours, After that, your fingers, everything will be swollen. Huh? You come out and you can see all these lines on your fingers very nicely, very clearly. Huh? Thumb impressions very clearly, you can see those lines. Today, now we don't see properly, but you keep your hand or yourself in the water for 2-3 hours and they will be swollen, you can see. And imagine a person sitting in the water for 10,000 years. What would be his condition? His body is completely rotted. Like that one. And now, after he cursed Garud, it became Vaishnava Prague, offense in the lotus feet of pure devotee Vaishnava. When we commit some big blunder, then what happens? When we commit a very big blunder, then the result is coming very fast. As long as we don't commit big blunders, things are like going slowly, smoothly, and it takes time. But when we commit some big blunder, we can see the result also coming very openly in front of us like this. So he committed this big blunder by offending Garuda. Immediately lust is boosted, which was hidden inside for 10,000 years. There was no change, not hungry, not thirsty, nothing. Sitting inside the water of Jamuna, not seeing anyone, and he is very nicely meditating. But the moment he committed such a big blunder, immediately lust is boosting again. What happens? He sees the family of the fish inside Jamuna. Very nice family, nice husband, nice wife, small children. Now he feels, I should also have one wife. After 10,000 years of austerity, we may perform severe austerities, but the disease will always remain in the heart. If we don't surrender to Krishna, that is very important to understand. That is what is important, which we have to understand. After that, he has the desire, now I want to get married. And whom he will marry? And who will marry him? If a person is rotten, who will marry him? If you work on water for a few days, you can see your feet is completely broken with so many cracks and looks very dirty, ugly. Because you are working in water. What to do? Did you see such feet? Here people always put socks and shoes and it's always covered, so you don't know so much. But there are many people, those who work in water for a long time, and their feet is broken. So many cracks, like that. Imagine when your whole body is like that. It starts to melt, stinking. Who will marry now? He goes to Mandata. He goes to Mandata. And he says, I want to marry your daughter. Because he has 50 daughters. And he says, I want to marry your daughter. So if you do it, it will be good. Mandata, to which daughter he will say that, my dear, you marry this person? He says, you please go inside. Whichever daughter wants to marry you, I'll be happy to do that. You go. You select, let them select. He said, okay. He understood what is in the mind of Mandata. What he does, immediately transforms his body and becomes so young and beautiful. He changes his body and he goes inside. All the 50 daughters say, I want to marry. All the 50. So he married all 50 of them. When a person can marry 50 persons at one time and expand him in 50 forms and spend time with them, if there is no lust. So disturbed by the lust. Okay, you want to marry, you can marry one. He married all 50 and stayed with all 50 of them. Why? Because deep inside, suffering with this lust, that he could not control himself, that he has to marry all 50. Why? You did severe austerities for 10,000 years. Doesn't work. Why? Because he did not approach the right doctor, that is Krishna. Who is the right doctor for this disease? That is Krishna. You can see Haridas Thakur. He did not do any such austerities. He was only chanting the holy name. He was chanting the holy name, Namacharya. He was chanting Mahamantra. And then that lady, she comes and proposes him, and he is asking her to sit and listen to his chanting for 3 days. And she is sitting all night next to him near the Tulsi tree. Tulsi, and then he is chanting, she is listening. After 3 days, he transformed her also. He transformed her also. Her mentality is changed. Her idea is changed. Her life is changed. And she became devotee. She became devotee. How it happened? How it happened? Because of Krishna. When the heart is given to Krishna, Krishna resides in the heart. When the Lord resides in the heart, then there is no place for lust. Jahan kam, tahan nahi Ram. Jahan Ram, tahan nahi kam. Ravi Rajani nahi rahe ek dham. When there is lust, there is no place for Krishna. When there is Krishna, means there is no room for lust. Like day and night can't be in one place at one time. And if it is possible, only the night will disappear. Day will never disappear. Day always remains. If it is night, and then when the day comes, night is disappeared. But if it is night, then what? By doing any possible way, we can't make night into day. Day has to come by itself, and then night will disappear. When the light comes, darkness disappears. When in the light, we can't make anything dark. So what is the thing which is remaining? Always is the light. What is the thing which is remaining? That is knowledge. What is the thing which is remaining? That is Krishna, not Maya. Maya disappears. Maya disappears, it does not remain. Only Krishna remains. So when Krishna comes in our life, naturally Maya will disappear. When Krishna comes in our life, then calm will disappear. Calm will not remain after that. Lust will not remain after that. What kind of doctor he is? Hridaya Pidita Jar. Krishna Chikitsakatar. He is the doctor of the people, those whose heart is sick. Sick because of this world. That is the speciality. How this calm will go? How this calm will go? When we surrender to the Lord. When we surrender to the Lord and adore Him, worship Him, serve Him with a loving devotional service. then calm will disappear. If not, calm will not go. I may say that, okay, I became devotee and no more lust. No, lust always remains. Lust always remains. We have to convert lust into love. Lust will never go. Lust always remains. But we have to convert lust to love by engaging it in the loving devotional service of the Lord. Action is the same, but when it is performed for our own pleasure, it becomes calm. When the same thing is performed for the pleasure of Krishna, then it becomes prem. That is the speciality. For gopis, their calm is prem. Gopya kamo. The lust of gopi is prem. That is pure love. How lust can be love? That calm means it is prem. It is for the pleasure of Krishna. It is for the service of Krishna. It is not for themselves. They doesn't have any desire to enjoy. If they have the desire to enjoy, if they have the lust to enjoy, they would have lived happily with all their husbands or other people in Vraj. But no, they don't know anyone other than Krishna. They only know Krishna. Their life is Krishna, their soul is Krishna. Everything is Krishna. All their activities, all their actions, their life, everything is Krishna oriented, Krishna centered. They dress nicely for Krishna. We dress nicely so that whoever sees us, they get attracted. We dress so nicely. Why? Because people, they look at us, they should feel, this person is very nice. To attract others. But gopis, they are dressing. For whom? For Krishna. For the pleasure of Krishna. When Krishna is calling them, Krishna is calling. Nama sametam krita sangetam bhajete mridu venu. He is nicely playing this venu. And calling out the names of each and every gopi. Saying, playing the flute and says, Madhuvrat. Madhuvrat is not the name of gopi. He is calling the names of different gopis. Manjaris. He is calling them through his flute. Jayadev Goswami, he says, when he is playing Venu, he is calling all the gopis. Tribhuvana Manasakarshani Murali Kalakojita. When he is playing Murali, Krishna has 3 flutes, not one. We only see one like this. 2 are there with him all the time. One is Bansi, one is Venu, one is Murali. When he is Murali, he is playing Murali, he is attracting all 3 worlds. Lakshmi, she got attracted by the beautiful sound of Murali from Vaikuntha. So she came down. She wants to enter in Vrindavan. Understand? You heard this? Lakshmi, she has this desire. Who is playing this nice Murali? I want to meet with him. Says it is Krishna. Oh, Krishna, he is my husband. I will go and participate in his pastimes. I said, not possible. Not possible. My husband, why it is not possible? If you want to go in Vrindavan, you have to surrender to Gopi. You have to accept the mood of Gopi. Then she said, not possible. No. And they said, okay, you can't get in Vrindavan. She is in Belvan, on the other side of Jamuna. sitting and then meditating that one day I will get the chance to enter in Vrindavan. She being, who is she? Lakshmi is not an ordinary person. She is Narayani. Who is she? She is not different from Narayan. She is his potency. She is the expansion of Srimati Radhika. But still, unless she is not ready to take the mood of gopis, even Lakshmi is not allowed to enter into Vrindavan. And how can we think that we can easily get into Vrindavan? Is that easy? Huh? Not easy. For that, we have to surrender to Krishna. Free from all these afflictions, free from all these desires, all these motives, which is the polluting our consciousness, our lust, our desire, our anger, our greed, very harmful in life. One who wants to get Rasika Bhakti, one who wants to enjoy that mellow of the divine couple, or one who wants to relish the mellow of that Golok Vrindavan. It can be in Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhur, whatever it is. Person has to be pure. Completely pure. There should not be any garbage in the heart. It is very dangerous. And when there is some dirt, then we get nothing. That is the reason Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared to give us, to distribute that Radha Bhav, Radha Prem, Radha Dasyam. But from where he started? Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started from Cheto Darpana Marjanam. You should cleanse your heart. If you don't do that, clean it nicely. How to clean it? Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Through the process of Krishna Sankirtan. Sankirtan means Samyak Rasakirtan, where you have to glorify Krishna's pastimes in the mood of Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, everything. We can't just rigid and saying that I will only do this. No, that comes later. Samyak Rasa Kirtan, Samyak Gun Kirtan, Leela Kirtan, Nam Kirtan. We have to do all this. Then what happens? It is cleansed. When the heart is cleansed, then we understand the taste of holy name. Then comes humility. It will not come. When the heart is not pure, there is no question of any humility. When the heart is not pure, there is no question of giving respect to others. We may give respect to others externally. Deep in the heart, there is always this consideration, this understanding that of course I am more qualified than this person. I know more than this person. These things come in the heart. And what happens? Pratishtasha asi hridaye dushibe. The desire for name and fame will come, and it pollutes the person even more. Today one person was asking, please tell me what is the idea of going out and preaching. If I have the desire to go out and preach and make someone devotee, how it should be. I told him it's not wise idea. He said, why? Preaching is good. I said, preaching is good, but not to others, to yourself. Preaching is good when you preach yourself, not to others. When we are in conditioned state, when we are in the state that we are ourselves suffering the misery, that we are suffering the pain of this heart calm, then when we go and preach others, what happens? When we get the name and fame by them, because they are ignorant people, they don't know. They will give you name and fame, and you yourself have unstable mind. When you get name and fame, then what happens? Ignorantly starts to consider that I am qualified person. Then pratishthasasi, then the desire for name and fame becomes more deeper in the heart. Hridaya dushibe, it starts to pollute your mind even more. Already mind is polluted. It is not cleansed properly. Again when we do this, what happens? It is more polluted. Hoive neregami, we will end up going to hell instead of Golok Vrindavan. We will go to hell. Hoive neregami. So that's why Mahaprabhu, what he was his final teaching. Aslishya va padaratam penashtma madarshna marmahtam karotva yatha tatha va vidatatam but mat prananatas saivanapara. The heart of Srimati Radhika, the mood of Srimati Radhika is the final teaching of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But it starts from Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Cleaning is very important. That's why he taught the cleaning of Gundicha. I said clean. Why we are cleaning Gundicha temple? The place where Lord resides. Vrindavan can ever be dirty. Gundicha temple is Vrindavan. Gundicha is Vrindavan. It's not Shri Mandir is Dwarika and Gundicha is Vrindavan. Sri Krishna is traveling from Dwarika to Vrindavan. So what Vrindavan is dirty. Even each and every dust particle of Vrindavan is considered, is very so special that disciple of Brihaspati Uddhav himself glorifies and says, Vande Nanda Vrajastrinam Padarenum Abhishna. I offer my most humble obeisances unto the foot dust particle of these Vrajagopis. I am not qualified to offer pranams to the whole dust, just one particle of dust. Padarenum Yasham Harikatho Gitam Punati Bhunatrayam. It is the one which purifies all three worlds. And we go there and we clean and we throw everything out. What is the idea of cleaning Gundicha temple? The idea of cleaning Gundicha temple is to clean our own heart and prepare it for welcoming the Lord in the heart. And what is the biggest obstacle which is not allowing the heart to be pure is calm. Lust, very dangerous. Lust is very dangerous. So that's why they said, Hriday Pidita Jar, one who is suffering from such a dreadful disease called lust. Krishna Chikitsakatar. Krishna is the doctor. Krishna is the doctor. So when we chant the holy name of Sri Krishna, naturally lust will disappear. Naturally lust will disappear. We don't need to control it. We don't need to regulate it. I have to control lust. No need. You don't need to control lust. Understand? When you control lust, you will end up like, what's his name? Saubari and, you will end up like Saubari and Vishwamitra. When we control. But when Krishna controls them, then what happens? It becomes devotion. It becomes devotion. And it is only Krishna centered. It is not, it will only give pleasure. It will only give bliss. You can see the calm of gopis is love of Krishna. That's why even after having separation from such a long time, they were not frustrated. They did not give up. They were not depressed. They were very happy. Even in separation, they were very happy. When Uddhav, he goes there and he sees. And then Uddhav tried to explain them. Why don't you meditate? He is Brahman. If you meditate, you can feel him. Then the gopi says, keep quiet. He was looking what? They says, don't tell us how to remember him. If you have an idea, you just tell us. How can we forget him? It's a big shock for Uddhav that what did I hear? Huh? You tell me, how can we forget him? Why you want to forget him? It's impossible to forget him, even for the moment. Srimati Radhika, she says to Krishna, when I am away from you, it was not that painful. But it's more painful when you tell me to meditate on Brahman. That is more painful. How can you say this to me? Srimati Radhika says this to Krishna. How can you even think? And how can you even say this? Don't do this. Like that she says. Gopis also says like this to Uddhav. Then Uddhav understands. It is not the right place to speak about these things. In front of intelligent person, it is always wise to keep quiet. When a foolish person starts to speak in the middle of very intelligent people, just by one or two words you can easily make out this fellow is stupid. Like when you cook rice, you don't need to take all the rice and check. Simply by you take one grain of rice and you do like this. You understand whether the rice is cooked or not. In the same way, when in front of the intelligent persons, when a foolish person opens his mouth, simply by one or two words they understand. Uddhav is not foolish. Uddhav is highly intelligent person. He is not foolish person. He is highly intelligent person. He is the disciple of Brihaspati. So that's why what Uddhav does, he understands, no, I should be wise. I should keep quiet. And he remains silent. And he sees what gopis are doing. That is the pure love. That's why there is no pain. What they are saying, Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavi biriritam kalmashapam shravana mangalam shrimadatam bhuvi gunantite bhuridajara. No need of Krishna. Only his Harikatha is sufficient. His glories, his name, his form, his qualities, pastimes, they themselves are sufficient. And gopis, those who are constantly drinking the nectar of all these things, how can they be in misery? How can they have their mind distracted? How can there be lust or something else in them? Not possible. That is the speciality. But one who has all these problems, they get nothing. Ultimately, they get nothing. It's not proper to sit like this in Harikatha. Knowledge will not come. If you feel pain, you can put one feet like this or maybe back or do like this. But if you sit like this in Harikatha, knowledge will go down. This is not the proper posture. Take chair, maybe. If you can't sit, then take chair. Chairs are good. Yes. take chair and keep the feet like this. So what it is said, Hriday Piditayar. So much of pain. Who is the doctor? Krishna. His holy name is the treatment. Krishna is the doctor and his holy name is the medicine. When we chant his holy name, gradually our mind is pacified. Our desires are controlled. They are controlled by Krishna. How they are controlled by Krishna? Because they are engaged in the service of Krishna. Through engaging our senses in his loving service, Krishna controls our desires, our senses. Then there is no calm, then there is no lust. Bhavarog nashite chatur. He is very clever. Krishna is so clever. And in what? In destroying the disease of this bhav, means of this material world. As a result of calm, we are getting more attached to this world. When there is calm, then there is growth and love. Moha. Moha means attachment. Calm is unlimited. Najatu kama kamam upabhogen samyat. After you try to enjoy, but your desires are never fulfilled. That is the speciality. We may think that, there are people, those who think when you have desire, no problem. Fulfill your desire. After that you won't have any desire. No. Some new desire will come. Desires are never ending. They always remain. We may think that no desire, but no. Immediately some new desires are awakening. And we try to pacify them. We try to satisfy them. We try to fulfill them. Again new desires are coming. Again new desires are coming. They are never ending. Calm has no end. When there is no end for lust, then there is no end for anger. When there is no end for anger, there is no end for greed. When there is no end for greed, then how can there be an end for our attachment for these worldly things? There is no end. And this attachment for this worldly things is not allowing us to relish or experience anything. When we are attached to this material world, how can we get attached to Krishna? How can we get attached to the spiritual world? I tie myself with one rope and to this something here. And now I say I want to go out. How it is possible? Unless I cut that knot, unless I untie the knot, unless I set myself free, I can't go out. Right? I tie my hands, my feet, everything, and I am here and I say I want to go out. Unless they are not taken out, how can we go? This attachment for this world is also like this only. So who will remove them? Who will cut them? The pure devotees of the Lord. Lord Himself, through His holy name, through His beloved devotees. What they do? Vidyate hridaya granthi chinnansi sarva samshaya. They will blast all the doubts which are in our heart. They will blast those attachments which we have in our life. When there is attachment, then it is difficult to live. Raghunath Das Goswami, he has attachment for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is so attached to Mahaprabhu. And now his mother, she says to father, bind him with the rope, because every now and then he runs away from home. So mother says, you better bind him with the rope. Then his father, he says, one who is maddened by the love of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you think something can bind him? Not possible. Not possible. Why? You know, he is opulent like Indra. Who? Raghunath Das Goswami. Only son for his father and also father's brother. Govardhan Majumdar and Hiranya Majumdar. They are two brothers. He is the son of Govardhan Majumdar, Raghunath Das Goswami. He is the only son in the family and so opulent like Indra. And Apsara Samabharya has such a beautiful wife. His father says, when they can't bind him, you think the ropes can bind him? How foolishly you are thinking. Like that. One who is attached to this material world like that, so deeply attached, then who can set him free? That is also not possible. One who is attached to Krishna, it is not possible to drag him into this material world and worldly attachments. One who is attached to material worlds, for him also it's not so easily possible to bring him out from these material attachments. We have to cut them. Here you can't cut, because it is the truth, Satyam Param Dhimahi, eternal truth. That is the Supreme Lord, that is the holy name. And here's Maya. See, Krishna is eternal, his Maya is also eternal. But here there is no transformation, there is no change, everything is constant, stable. Here everything is changing. Here everything is temporary, momentary. It's always changing. And here nothing is changing. So to get attracted to these things doesn't take long time. Very easily we get attracted to Maya. And in the same way we can get attracted to Krishna very easily. What happens is, once we get attracted to Krishna, we progress, we go further. But when we get attracted to Maya, we go down. So for that we need strong support who can help us to come out of this and engage us in the service of Krishna. Who will do that? The Lord himself, his holy name will do that. His beloved devotees will do that. That is very important. What they do? They set us free from this world and worldly afflictions and put us in the lotus feet of the Lord. That is the reason it is said, Bhavarog Nashite Chatur, very clever to destroy this disease of this material world. What is the disease? This attachment. Attachment in this world is very dangerous. We may hear so many Harikathas, we may go for so much of association, but if we keep ourselves attached to this material world and does things, then nothing is effective. It is not going to put any effect on our life. If we want to enjoy the ras, enjoy the mellow, most important is to have the cleansed heart. It is very important to have to set ourselves free from the disease of this world. Krishna bahirmukha jane premamrit vitarane krame lai nij antahpur. Krishna bahirmukha jane, those who are averse from Krishna. What Krishna does? Premamrit vitarane, by distributing the nectar of pure love. Who is doing that? Krishna is doing that. Kramelai nija antahpur, slowly, slowly, gradually brings him to his internal circle. Very cold.
How do you want it?
Huh?
Fan or no fan?
No, I'm asking, very feeling cold.
Okay.
Yes. No, everyone is feeling cold. People are like very weak bodies, you know. So anyhow, what it says, those who are averse from Krishna, Krishna is so merciful. He is always there to bring all of us back to his abode. Krishna, he doesn't want to bestow us liberation. He never wants us to get liberation. Okay, you come and take liberation. No. He also desires that we develop loving devotion. Enjoy the nectar. Enjoy the rasa. He has no desire to give liberation. You know this? That is the reason Krishna has one name, Mukunda. What is Mukunda?
Who gives liberation. There's another meaning, but I don't remember.
Mu muktim kutsitam karoti premanand saiva dadati iti Mukunda. Mu muktim kutsitam karoti. Like making liberation rejected, not so special. Premanand saiva dadati. One who bestows the bliss in prem, in loving devotional service. Dadati, he is Mukunda. Like that. He gives prem. Krishna, devotee desires to attract the Lord. Then Lord wants to get attracted by the love of his devotees. He wants to relish. He also wants to enjoy. But through whom he will do that? Through his devotee only. He doesn't do with others. So here says Krishna bahirmukha jane, all those people, those who are averse from Krishna, they are not into Krishna. They are into karma, they are into jnana, yoga, all other things. So gradually he brings them to the level. Gradually he is bringing them to the level where they try to understand the importance of loving devotion. And he himself is distributing, he himself is giving what? The nectar of pure love. He doesn't keep people till karma, he doesn't keep people till jnana, he doesn't keep people till yoga or all those things. You can see when Nandanandan Sri Krishna appeared in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what he did. What he did? When he was having this conversation with Rai Ramananda about Prayojan Tattva, he is speaking, he is asking, Pado Shlok, Karo Sadhyere Nirnay, come on, speak. And Rai Ramananda, he is speaking, Varnashram, he said, Yeh Bahi, Age Kaho, speak further. Gyan Mishra Bhakti, Gyan Shuni Bhakti, this, he, for everything he is saying, Yeh Bahya. All these are okay, but they are external. Aage kaho aar, speak further. Finally he says prema bhakti. Then Mahaprabhu says, Eha hai, yes, now you are on track. Aage kaho aar, now speak further. So he made it very clear when he appeared in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that I don't want to leave my devotees or anyone in this world just till karma, jnana, yoga, all these things. No. Slowly, 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 I try to upgrade their position. Depending on their maturity of consciousness, they are given different methods. And then they are attracted by Krishna slowly, slowly, slowly. And what he does? Premamrita vitarane. In all these cases, he is giving drops of love. Taste. Finally you say, I want, I need it. How can I survive without this? I need it. Kramelai nijantapur. And then what he does? Slowly, slowly, he will bring them to his place, his abode. So anyhow, कर्म बंध ज्ञान बंध आवेशे मानव अंध तारे कृष्ण करुणा सागर. One who is bound by the karma, one who is bound by the jnana, and then aveshe manava andha, influenced by the bondage of karma and jnana, what happens? Person becomes blind. Person becomes blind. What should be the ultimate attainment of karma yoga? Is to engage all the activities in the loving devotional service of the Supreme Lord. What should be the ultimate attainment of jnana? To realize our true nature, to realize our relation with the Supreme Lord and to understand. That is jnana. Knowledge means what? Knowledge about the self, knowledge about Krishna, knowledge about his loving devotion, everything. That is the reason Lord says very clearly, if you understand me, that means it is the perfection of knowledge. And such person is naturally, he has realized everything. He don't need to understand each and every single thing separately. If you understand me, that means you understood everything. That is the speciality. But one who acts like a fool, why like a fool? Who is the person? Who is the fool? Murkha. Who is Murkha? Murkha and fool are not one. Murkha means the person who is highly intelligent, but his intelligence is perverted. Foolish person, he doesn't have any intelligence. But this Murkha, you know Murkha, you heard the word Murkha? You heard? Murkha you did not hear? Okay. Murkha is a word. Murkha. But generally in English people, they translate this word as fool. But fool and Murkha are not one. Fool means he doesn't have any brains or anything, nothing. He is useless. But Murkha is not useless fellow. He is very intelligent fellow. But his intelligence is perverted. It is in wrong direction. That is the thing. That is the reason it is said, Vishayavishta Murkhanam Chitta samskaram aushadham vishrambhena guror seva vaishnavochista bhojanam. Heard this? Why you did not hear them? Vishayavishta murkhanam. This murk person, or maybe like mudha and murkha are not very different. Mood, you heard mudha? Avajananti mam mudha. Like that. Manushim tanumashrita. So mood and murk, you can understand like some similarity is there. Vishayavishta murkhanam. One who is influenced by all these five objects of senses. Chitta samskaram aushadham. The medicine for the purification of his chitta. What is that? Vishrambhena gurur seva. Perform the service of Shri Guru. How? Vishrambhena. Try to enter into the heart of Shri Guru and serve him. Vaishnavochista bhojanam. Whatever remnants you are getting from the Vaishnavas, that should be your food. Eat the remnants, take the remnants of devotees and serve Shri Guru, starting from his teachings, and slowly understand his heart, go inside his heart and then serve him according to the desire of his heart. Then you will be fine. That intelligence will become cleansed, purified. Akamo sarva kamo vati moksha kamo udaradi. Who is the person who is considered having broad intelligence? Tivrena bhakti yogena yajet purusha param. With the process of intense bhakti yoga, who worships Purusha param, param purush Bhagavan, Sri Krishna Chandra, one who is worshipping only such a person, it is possible. Udaradi. It is said, akamo, sarvakamo va. You may not have any desire, no problem. You may have many desires, no problem. Moksha kamo va. Maybe you may have the desire to attain liberation, no problem. Udaradi. But your intelligence is considered very broad when you worship the Supreme Lord. If you don't worship the Supreme Lord, if you have the desire, you don't have the desire, or the desire of liberation, everything doesn't carry any importance, any value. Because you are a murkha person. Person is murkha. Such person, whatever he does, it doesn't have any value, any importance, or anything, nothing. So, aveshe manava andha. Such person, what he does, he is by the urge or influence of this bondage, person becomes blind. He has pride for his knowledge. I have knowledge. What is the use? Jnanato sulabha mukti. By knowledge you will only get liberation. You don't get anything other than liberation. What is the use of liberation? Jnanato sulabha mukti. In the process, in the practice of jnana, most easiest thing which you attain is liberation only. So when I am bound by the jnana, I remain till liberation. And that too, when we talk about liberation, mostly it is the liberation sayujya. Brahma sayujya means to merge in Brahman. That's all. What is the use of merging in Brahman? Anyhow, we will not merge in Brahma. We will merge. We will never merge in Brahman because we are a completely independent identity. When our identity is independent, then how we will merge in Brahman? And if we finish our identity, that means we are dead. How some matter can merge in Brahman? So ultimately we are getting nothing. So such people, Lord becomes very merciful. Such people, what Lord does? He appears. He appears. The one who is engaged more in karma, Lord appears and gives them the chance to serve Him and slowly attracts them. The one who is engaged in jnana, Lord appears and then helps them to meditate on His divine form in their heart and then attract them. One who is devotee, Lord appears for them. So that's why it is said, Tare Krishna Karuna Sagar. For those people, Krishna is the ocean of mercy. He is the ocean of mercy. That is the speciality. He doesn't give up anyone. That is the glory of Sri Krishna. We may think that only person who is following Prema Bhakti Marg, he will only get Krishna. Of course only he will get. But those who are not following, those who are taken some other paths also, Krishna is so merciful, he in an indirect way gave them the taste. Gives them the taste. Once Srinath Muni is one very great devotee of Lord Ranganath. You heard Lord Ranganath? Heard? I don't understand if you don't hear anything. Sri Rangam. Madhuvrat, you heard Sri Rangam? Okay, good. Sri Rangam is the place where there is a big deity of Lord Ranganath. Srinath Muni is a great devotee. He was serving Lord Ranganath. So he has the desire that if my grandson Yamunacharya can come and take over the service of Lord Ranganath, I will be very happy. Then he asks his disciple to accomplish his desire, and his disciple, he comes now. What happens? Yamunacharya is a king, so he can't just go and see him and propose him because he is a king now. He won the kingdom in a debate and he became the king. He became king not through the battle. He had debate with one scholar, and then there was an argument between the king and the queen, where the queen says that Yamunacharya will definitely win the debate, and the king says not possible. Finally, they both have this argument, and what they do? The king says, if Yamunacharya becomes victorious, I will give him half of the kingdom. And finally Yamunacharya, he wins, and then he becomes the king of that half kingdom. Now he is a king. And he was so busy in the expansion of his kingdom, he spread so much and he became a very big king now. When a person is a king, a royal lifestyle, then where he wants to be a devotee or sadhu anymore now. But Srinath Muni, he has the desire that if Yamunacharya can be a devotee, it will be very nice. So his disciple, he comes to the kingdom of Yamunacharya and brings a very special quality spinach. Very tasty spinach. If you eat it, you will feel very special taste, and also it's very good for your brain. So he goes to the cook who cooks for the king and he says, why you people don't want to see your king very special? Cook this. It is good for his health. Sadhu came and said, okay, he took that spinach and he cooked very nicely and offered it to the king. Yamunacharya, he eats it and he was so happy. So nice taste. So every day he is cooking. Now he became addicted to it. He became addicted to it. Like that, here it is said, like what? Pada Padma Madudiya Andbhav Guchaiya Charane Karen Anuchar. What he is doing, he is giving that nectar slowly, little. And now, what he does, one fine day he stopped. And the king, he says, this spinach is no more in my plate. What happened? Then the cook says, actually, every day one sadhu comes and he gives this spinach, he stopped coming. Achha. He said, when you see him again, tell him I want to see. Then the king meets the sadhu. And then the sadhu tells him that your grandfather has left huge property for you. If you can come and take over it, then he will be very happy. Hearing the name of property, he said, let's go right away. And on the way he is speaking to him about Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, all those things, and before reaching Ranganath, he got so convinced. He falls on the feet of that sadhu and he says, I don't want any property. You just bless me and make me your disciple. Then he says, not now. First come to Ranganath. Then takes him to Ranganath and gives him the charge of Ranganath temple. So anyhow, the thing is, what he is doing, he makes you addict. Pada Padma Madudiya. A small spinach in this world, for the taste, person gets so addicted. And then he becomes restless to meet with the person who is bringing. So when it is the nectar of the lotus feet of the Lord, what it is? How restless the person becomes. Pada Padma Madudiya, the nectar of his lotus feet. Haripad Pankaja Puraga Lubdha. A pure devotee has this quality. Haripad Pankaja Puraga Lubdha. He is very greedy. When you become greedy, if you have never tasted it, you will become greedy if you have never tasted it. You should know about the taste. You should experience it a little. Then only you will feel greed. Haripad Pankaja Puraga Lubdha. The lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. His feet is like lotus. Paraga means the nectar. Lubdha, greedy. Who? Sri Krishna Chandra Daita Katidas Bhakta. A pure devotee who is very beloved to Nandanandan Sri Krishna. He is very greedy to relish the nectar of the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Lord, what he does? He gives that nectar. Forget about it. Just Lord, when he is resting in Vaikuntha, from outside Sanat Kumaras, they are passing through Vaikuntha. What happens? When they are passing through Vaikuntha, what happens? Lord just gave the fragrance of the tulsi leaf and the sandalwood paste applied to his lotus feet to those Sanat Kumaras. When the fragrance is coming to in their nose, they become so restless. They are seeing from where this is coming. And then they understood that from Vaikuntha, we have to go inside. They want to go inside, they look like small boys. When they want to go inside, Jay and Vijay, they tell them, no, Lord is resting, you can't go right now. They became so restless. Immediately they cursed them. You are not qualified to stay here anymore. Go. Then they became Shishupal, Dantavakra, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, Ravan and Kumbhakarna. That is also the will of the Lord. But what made them so restless is the fragrance coming from the transcendental lotus feet of that Supreme Lord, Shri Hari from Vaikuntha. And when he himself is giving that nectar, what happens? Andabhav, Guchaya. It will free the person completely from all ignorant ideas. And what happens? Charane Karen Anuchar. He will make you his follower. He will make you his devotee, his beloved devotee. After that, you can't live without the Lord. There is no chance that you will ever think of something else other than loving Krishna. That is the speciality. Pada Padma Madhudiya, how the nectar is coming from the feet, like it is like the net of bumblebee that from there that honey is coming down. Rupa Madhuri, the beauty of the feet of the Lord when it is coming. When a devotee is having darshan, he is going deep inside in the beauty. And then he becomes follower. He takes shelter of that divine feet. Like Akrur. Akrur, from Mathura, he starts with the speed of mind. When he heard that finally my good fortune has arisen, now today I am getting the chance to see Nandanandan Sri Krishna in Vraj. And he is very happy. And then he starts early in the morning from Mathura, receiving the instructions from Kansu. And it is said that in the late evening he reaches Nanda Bhavan. It is that far. It's that far. We start early morning and we reach late night, and that to travel with the speed of mind. As he enters in Vraj, he immediately gets down from the chariot and he sees the footprints of Krishna Baladev and rolling down there in ecstasy. Each and every footprint he is touching. And it took whole day for him. Because every footprint he sees, he feels something new, something special, something more beautiful. If it remains like one constant, he'll see, okay, nice. And then finish. But every footprint he sees, not yet, he haven't seen the feet of the Lord. He only saw the footprints. Because in Vraj, Krishna is not using the shoes. Krishna Baladev, they are not using shoes. Like in the home we don't use shoes. We use here, that is different story, but generally, people, they don't use shoes in home. Whole Vraj is the home of Krishna. It is the holy dham. Krishna was never using any shoes in Vraj. So everywhere there are his footprints. When Akrur saw those footprints, every footprint he sees something new, something very special. And then he is rolling down there, rubbing his face on those footprints, taking the dust on his head, smearing himself with the dust. He could not even understand when it became late night. From Mathura he started with the speed of mind. And then as he entered Vraj, he stopped. He was walking and then feeling ecstasy that I am so fortunate. Even though Kans did this, but I am thankful to him. I am so fortunate today, after a long time, I am getting the chance to see Krishna. I am getting the chance to meet with Baladev. Because he can't go like that. He was only having information from Nanda Maharaj. But he can't go like that. For that he needs permission. And today comes, engages, accrue, you go. And then he is enjoying the footprint, each and every footprint. Why? Nectar is coming out. He is relishing. Like that. Pad Padma Madhudiya. Pad Padma Madhudiya. One who is relishing the nectar of the lotus feet, he is very dear to Krishna. Sri Krishna Chandra Daito, very, very dear to Krishna. Katitasa Bhakta. He is qualified and addressed as a devotee. Anyhow, there is a lot to speak, but it's already 8:10. I spoke, I think, 2 hours, so I stopped here. You will be tired to listen. So we'll have some kirtan first, and then you can do arati. Huh?
Maharaj, I want to ask a favor. If we can make today kirtan in for jak se jmenuje? For Ladya, he's brother of Punya Palaka, and he left the body when? 5 days ago, when he, while climbing on this mountain in US. So if you can dedicate the kirtan for him.
Yes, we do kirtan now.
May I ask